Hi, I'm Kirsten, and I'm currently renovating my Chevy G20 into a camper van. I would say at this point I'm about 80% finished. Like, what do I have left? I have to make my floor look nice. I have to install my composting toilet and my water pump and my fresh water, my gray water tank. That's pretty much it. Kind of just like those big things left, and after that, she will be fully livable. Also, I have these like half torn apart cabinets up there that I have to redo. It's livable now, like you could live in here. People live in their cars with this basic amount of amenities, so I'm pretty sure that I'll be able to do it for 2 weeks. So my partner and I are taking Tori, my van, on our very first camping trip. Kind of our, well, that's a lie, our second camping trip. But our first one didn't go well. I made a video about it a few months ago. So hopefully this camping trip will be a lot better. The goal for my van is to have the build finished by, I'd say October, November, when it starts getting really cold here so that I can move back to Vancouver Island. So we're going on a camping trip for 2 weeks. That is the point of this video. We're going on our first real camping trip into the mountains. It's so freaking hot. I'm dying in here. Building on my national park and provincial park sticker collection. So far I have 2. I think I'm about to go get a 3rd, but I'm thinking of putting them in this cabinet on this wall. That way I have like the whole entire thing to fill up. Put my stickers on.
Wow, it looks so nice. Wow, good idea.
so nice to be like in my mostly renovated van and just have all of the hard work that we've been putting in for almost a year pay off. Like, it's so satisfying to just drive and hop in the back and your home is already here with you, and we've just been going on some really amazing hikes. I'm just so grateful for this life and so in love with just living and traveling in a van, and I can't wait to be able to do this full time again. And we went on this really nice hike, actually a few hikes in the same area because the lake is so big. It's called Upper Kananaskis Lake, literally like my new favorite lake in all of Alberta and all of BC that I've seen so far.
Yeah. So it's completely safe to breathe in as well. Yeah. So lots of tests done and
So the trip has come to a close 1 week early. We were supposed to be gone for 2 weeks. We came back exactly 1 week later, and guess why? Guess why? Because if you live in a camper or if you own a diesel heater, perchance, you might know what went wrong on this trip. And it is that the diesel heater broke in the middle of the night. I woke up and I was like freezing cold, and I thought it was because the window was open, but no, the diesel heater broke. Like, when I lived in the truck camper, one time the diesel heater was screaming and it was filling the entire camper with smoke, so that we had to evacuate, my partner and I. And after my partner took it apart, it's because one of the bearings had gotten stuck or something like that, something to do with the bearings. And he was up until like 3 in the morning trying to fix that thing. This diesel heater that I currently have in my van, the glow plug went out maybe like a few months ago. It was during our renovation time, I think sometime during the winter. And same thing happened on the trip, so we had to cut the trip short because ain't no way you can stay warm in the Canadian Rocky Mountains without a heater to keep you warm. And so we were in a dilemma between leave and end the trip early or go someplace warmer. I was in favor of the latter. You know, I was saying we should go to the Okanagan because it's like 30 degrees there right now. I'm not sure how low the temperatures dip at night, but I wasn't thinking that we would be too cold. But my partner wanted to return so that he can work on his own camper renovations. Also, we went to the mountains like accidentally during Canada Day weekend, so the amount of traffic to get into Banff, the line was extending like into the highway. It would have taken an hour to just enter the town. The line to get the national park pass for Banff, I will insert some footage. That probably would have taken an hour to get through. It was ridiculous. Like, we didn't realize that everyone would be flooding to the mountains for Canada Day weekend. I have never ever seen the mountains that busy before. It was ridiculous. Like, we did like quite a few hikes, and if you were in the Banff region, you can't even hike at your own pace because there's like a line of people in front of you. The very last hike we did yesterday was Grassy Lakes, I've never been there during the summer, so the hike for the summer up to the lakes was phenomenal. It was like nothing I'd ever seen before. You hike like so steeply up a mountain, you go up these like really steep steps, and then there's like this huge waterfall, and then there's like the lower grassy lakes, and then there's like the upper grassy lakes with like a little beach and a huge mountain cliff. And I wish I had gotten footage of it, but I forgot my phone in the van because I had to pee so bad. I just forgot it behind. I did learn a lot of things about my van. For instance, there's a few leaks around the windshield when it rains. There's actually a leak back here on this wall, so we're gonna have to, I don't know, caulk up the van, whatever, to stop the leaks. Another thing, my van is extremely good on gas. Like, we only refilled the tank, like, I don't know, twice? My partner did the math and he thinks that my van can go 800 kilometers from full to empty. Which is like, I had no idea that my van had that good fuel economy. That's crazy. That is just not, that is like nuts. That is nuts. It's so good to hear. Like, I love my van so much. She's like the most perfect van I could ever imagine having for myself, and we'll be able to travel throughout Canada and the United States and maybe even Baja, Mexico, so in the future, maybe a few years down the line. Yeah, I just can't wait to live in here full time. Like, I really, really miss living on the road. When you're living on the road, it feels like I am living my life the way that it's supposed to be lived. And I love going out and meeting new people, and I love seeing new things every single day. I love doing new activities, and I love going on hikes I've never done before, and just seeing pieces of nature that, you know, you would never get to see unless you hiked to it. It allows me to live in such a free way that nothing can even come close to making me feel. Like, when I lived in the truck camper for 6 months last year, it was the happiest I had ever been in my entire life, just because it felt like I was falling in love with being alive, really for the first time since I was a kid. And this small little camping trip, like whether we were boondocking or whether we were staying in campsites, I was like, I missed this so much. My soul missed this. My heart missed this. And it just feels so good. Like, I truly have always felt that this is the way that I am just meant to live. It's the way that resonates with my soul the most, and I don't know why it's like that. I just, ever since I was little, I've just loved traveling, and maybe it's because I had the privilege to be able to go on camping trips every summer with my family, and that really ignited my passion for traveling and stuff. At one point during the trip, we were boondocking outside of Canmore, because you can't sleep in the town, and then if you go too far you enter like national parks. So it was like right on the highway outside of the town. There's like a tiny little pull off of the highway, and we slept there overnight, and it was such a heartwarming experience because it was filled with so many other people who were living on the road. You know, when you go to campsites, it's mostly like elderly folks with their like huge RVs. But this little boondocking spot that we went to, that we found on iOverlander, it was like people our age, I would say 20s, 30s, just all living in their cars. We saw like this one guy who was living in his car. He had like a whole kitchen set up in the back, and he was just out there making his dinner, and he was like, yeah, I'm from Ontario and I've went down to Colorado, I've went down to Utah. And I'm just like, Now he's living the life that I want to live. He's living the kind of life that you should be living, you know, making the most out of it. There's like people living in their SUVs. There was like other camper vans like mine. There was a truck camper. There was like an older RV. There was some doggies. I was really sick that night, unfortunately, so I couldn't go out and socialize and like meet people because I was sick in bed. But from what I could see out the window, it looked like a good vibe. And it was just like everyone who's on the road, everyone traveling to different places, and whether you were from Canada or from the United States or from somewhere else in the world, we all ended up on that one little gravel road off the side of a highway in Canmore. And for that one night, we all just slept peacefully together in that little lot before we separated ways again in the morning. And that's one of the things I love so much about van life and living on the road, is just they're just there to live life and to just have a good time. I just love it so much, the way that the van life community is just so respectful and understanding of each other, and how we can all come from so many diverse different backgrounds and then come together for like a night or a few days and then go off on our own ways, and maybe we'll meet up again in the future. It's just really beautiful to learn about where people come from and where they're going and what living life to the fullest means to them, and like learning about why they're out on the road and stuff. It's just a really beautiful thing, and it warmed my heart. Anyway, that is the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope it was entertaining, and I hope that you enjoyed it. It's really hot. I'm gonna go. Bye.